What about Malachi being at the end of the Protestant Bible? First, let's take a look at Malachi. Why did this book eventually get adopted as the conclusion of the Christian Old Testament? It actually makes a lot of sense. Through the prophet Malachi, the God of Israel exposes just how corrupt the post-exilic generations have become after returning from Babylon. The general picture we get from the book is that the long years of Israel's exile did not fundamentally change the hearts of the people. They are still in rebellion against God. The temple is corrupted and the reader is left waiting for some kind of resolution. And that's exactly what Malachi announces. The day of the Lord is coming to purify Israel from all moral compromise and evil, so that a faithful remnant can emerge out of the other side. While the tone of the book is kind of a downer, it ends with a hopeful note that God will come one day to sort everything out. And that final hopeful note is precisely what makes Malachi a great ending to the Christian Old Testament. But remember, it was not the original ending. Why Chronicles? Contrast Malachi with Chronicles, which is placed at the end of the Hebrew canon. This book, which is mostly narrative, with genealogy and poetry mixed in, leaves a different impression. Chronicles opens with introductory genealogies that recap the entire biblical storyline from Adam all the way to the post-exile generation. The emphasis of Chronicles is to foster hope in God's promise to David for a new king and a new Jerusalem, which will become a dwelling place for the divine glory, along with a new, restored Israel. From here, the book moves on to recount the story of the kings of Jerusalem. Again, the focus is on David and God's covenant promise of the seed that will come through his line. This promised king would build a new temple and reign over Israel and the nations. As you read about every descendant of David, all of them fail, but there are a handful of bright spot characters. Hezekiah and Josiah, for example, who succeed more than they fail. For the chronicle, these narratives about the past kings from David's line serve as a prophetic pointer to what the future promised king will be like, only better.